Hello. Welcome into Anime Plus, episode 99. To kick off the new year, we were so close to 100, it freaking hurts. We were so close. But either way, episode 99. Good way to hit 99 here because we are going to be ranking every anime that we watched in 2022. And the reason why is because we didn't know all the shows weren't coming out this past weekend. Did not know that was happening. Got Zach here in the studio who just threw his drink all over the wall. Zach, how are you?
I didn't throw it.
You yeeted it, basically.
I didn't
by accident.
I was trying to shake an open container, and some of it may have came out because it was a bit too excited. But on the other hand, funny enough, just yesterday all the chapters came out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because I looked
for which one?
Shonen Jump.
Okay. Did they?
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't read that.
Because I looked at it and went, oh, they came out. We're not going over chapters. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. That's not making it this show today. Whoops. Oh, man. But yeah, he just threw his drink everywhere, so that was fun. And then as we were about to start our Stream Deck disconnect, that thing is so finicky with the cord.
It is.
Like when you try to move it back and forth between the two desks, it constantly wants to disconnect. It's super annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun list to rank. Zach has 26. I've got 22, ranking every single one of them. So I'm really excited for this. And honestly, episode 100. To be honest, it's going to be a banger of an episode because it's kicking off the winter season of anime. And there's a lot of stuff that I plan to watch this weekend. Of course, we have the stuff that we're already watching. So, To Your Eternity for You, My Hero, Blue Lock, of course. But then like Trigun starting up, that being a complete reboot. That's enticing to me. I'm going to check it out. We have Tokyo Revengers, which... we'll see if that's available. It's supposed to be on Disney Plus, but I saw what happened with the summertime render, so we'll see. You know what I mean? If Tokyo's gonna be available,
if it's not, that's gonna be atrocious.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a way to watch it, just like summertime. But there's a couple other animes that's on my list. We're gonna have probably a lot of episode ones next week to chat about, which is super cool to kick off episode 100 for Anime Plus. So that's really exciting. But if you could show some support, drop a like on this. If you're watching after the fact or watching it live, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend, join the Discord down below. Check out the Ancient Ink shop and pick up an Anime Plus jersey. Check out all the links down below, especially the website. Website just got a revamp here recently. I made some tweaks on the website here recently as well. Got some more links on the link page. Still doing some revamping. Got some more stuff to add to the website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free. It's on $5 a month. But yeah, I got a lot of links down there. We're getting things going. We do have our good friend Becca here in chat. Do y'all have a TikTok account? Just wondering why. Yes, we do. But it's not active yet. But we do have one at Sparky3Official. But if you could follow us, we'd appreciate that because we are going to start posting on it.
Can she even find it right now?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay.
Yeah, people can follow. I think I have a link down in the description below. I know it's linked on our website too. It is on our website. You can go to sparky3.com and you can find it there as well. But yeah, so at Sparky3Official, give us a follow over at TikTok. Because as I said in our end of year video, we're going to start multi-streaming here like next week. I've already paid for the account with Restream. So starting next week, we will be live at 5 different places, and I'm really excited for it. We'll be live on Twitch. We'll be live at YouTube on 2 separate channels, the Sparky3 YouTube, as well as the show's YouTube channel. We'll be live... maybe Facebook, still haven't decided. We'll be live on Twitter. And if we're not going to be live on Facebook, we may be live on my personal Twitch account that I have not used in forever.
If we're not using Facebook, we should just yeet it to some random site.
There is a big list of sites I can yeet it to. So, yeah, why not? We'll yeet it somewhere. We'll see if we can pull in views. It'll be cool. But yeah, multi-streaming starts next week. At least it should kick off with a terrible football show. If I manage to get things kind of like all set up the way we want, might even kick off tomorrow for Game Static. We'll see. I'll play with it tomorrow morning. I'll see if we can get everything the way that we want it to look, And if we can, may start with Game Static. That or a terrible football show next week. I don't know, one of the two.
All right.
But either way, multi-streaming for Anime Plus, though, will start next week. And we should be back to Thursday next week. I had something come up yesterday I had to take care of. But next week should be back to Thursday. As we said before, this is the one show that gets moved the most. Shit always pops up. It never fails. Zach is dying. I don't know why, though.
Because you said we'll be back to Thursday, in my head I went, it's not Thursday?
You work today. You should know that.
I mean, you're right. I did work today.
You should know if this dude's off on Thursdays. Oh, my God. Oh, dude. She said she got it. I appreciate that follow because we do want to live stream to TikTok, but TikTok is... I'll tell you up front, TikTok is going to be one of the futures of live streaming. Up front, straight up. It's still Twitch and YouTube's game right now, but TikTok is going to 1,000,000% be one of the futures. But it is still very limited. They don't just give out stream keys once you sign up to the platform. You have to reach 1,000 followers, contact TikTok, and then they can give you a stream key themselves. So they are very exclusive in that regard. But once you get there, man, you can definitely pull in some hard work on TikTok streaming. So that's definitely something we want to get to down the line. Just got to actually start posting to TikTok, which we are going to start doing, like literally probably next week, if this show and GameStatic can get some good shit out of it. Get some spicy predictions for GameStatic, Zach. I've got a couple spicy ones, so we're going to have something. I'll tell you that.
Reggie joins the Bethesda team.
Oh my God, that would be legendary! Oh, hey, speaking of Bethesda, I want to throw this out there because I came across it today and I thought it was so cool. We're going to be, this is some game talk here, so I apologize. So I came across a random article, right?
Okay.
Involving Todd Howard, still just talking about Elder Scrolls 6, just like little tidbits and stuff. And then like how he talked about how, ES6 is going to last us like decades, just like Skyrim, right? And the article is focused on that conversation. But then like in the article and just like a stray passing bullet, the article is just like, and he brings up a good point because Skyrim has lasted multiple decades with multiple mods and expansions made by the community, just like the Mass Effect inspired one that was just made last year. I'm like, hello?
What?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hello? You can't just throw that in a passing comment. And yeah, it's called like Warden of the Coast. It just came out end of last year. It has over 9,000 lines of dialogue, 9 different companions, all with loyalty missions, 5 islands to explore. This thing's huge. It's only available on PC for now, and not the Game Pass version.
Is it on Mass Effect or on Andromeda?
No. This is Skyrim. I'm talking about it's a Mass Effect inspired mod for Skyrim.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I apologize. Yeah, Skyrim mod. Mass Effect and Dragon Age inspired.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge mod. It's only on PC right now, not the Game Pass Skyrim, so you'd have to get it through Steam or whatever else. But it sounds super sick. I want to play it. I started watching some videos on it. I'm just like, man, this looks incredible. So, just random thing that happened to me today. Just completely just stray, like, boom. Just kind of in passing, whatever. We do have a question from Becca. Okay, what does it say? I can't read it.
I don't know. I can't see the screen from here.
Oh, Danganronpa. Y'all have an opinion on Danganronpa. Not me, no.
Are we talking about the whole series or just one of the specific seasons? Or are you talking anime or game?
He would be the one to have an opinion, not me. Not me. I know of it, but I've never dove into it at all. So, but today's episode though, like I said, got a lot of series to rank. Like I said, I've got 22 on my list. He's got 26 on his. And just ranking them completely in order. I feel like we got this is actually a pretty solid list. I feel like some of the stuff that we have at like number 1, number 2, etc., number 3 is going to potentially shock some people, maybe. From what I feel like a lot of people may throw up at the top. So that's actually. And
I guess the other thing we should say for this, it's literally only things that aired this year.
Yeah, exactly. There is a little. There's a little cheat that we did with one, but we'll count it. We'll count it. It technically aired this year. We cheated with one, but it's okay.
I'm not going there. You stay away from Keijo.
Damn. Well, I have no opinion either. So that's the take on it. Game and anime series V3 and 2 characters.
Okay. The anime itself, how they did the mix between the Despair arc of showing version 3 and then going back to the past for all the 2 characters, I very enjoyed that split of how it just kept going back and forth, because I don't know if you watched it and how it was actually aired or just chronologically, because how it aired was you got in the future when both classes were interacting and got the whole where now someone's actually a secret murderer and everyone goes to sleep thing, and the despair arc, I believe it was called. I forget which one was hope, which one was despair. But you got one episode for whichever arc was first, which I think was the despair arc. Then the next episode aired was the episode for hope arc, and it just kept doing that back and forth. And I very enjoyed that aspect of it, and just how they just decided to present that, since V3 wasn't actually a game at that point. All we had was the backstories for 1 and 2. So it was a nice mesh of all the characters and a little bit more world building, which has always sort of been up in the air with Danganronpa before that, of exactly what the heck is actually going on in the world, other than shit went haywire and we gathered up all these talents and prodigies for Monokuma just to get them to murder each other. The game aspects, I feel like the games were fairly entertaining. They allowed to expand more on the characters, which was nice, versus the animes where it was just strictly the story. Yeah. V3 is a newer game, which came about from how they decided to do the animes. But overall, the games are very much enjoyable if you like that style. They're actually that new game, which I can't remember the name of right at the moment, that's being done by that has that Danganronpa style that's coming out. I'm very much looking forward to, because I did always enjoy those class trials, the whole bullet thing, each of the different little mini games for pointing out contradictions and all that fun stuff. Overall, I enjoy the series, especially even though one PSP one, Despair Girls, which wasn't traditional to the series, which it was still okay. Yeah, some of the trials in the games get really long. Like it's always funny because you got the first part of actually the investigation, which takes anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Then you do the trial, which can also take up half an hour to an hour. It's pretty bad. And like, I remember playing the first Danganronpa game and got to the final trial. That sucker took 2 hours. I'm like, my God, let it end. And that's if you don't screw up, Alex.
If you don't screw up.
If you screw up, I mean, you get an ending, but then you got to reset and go back and do it all again.
Right.
It's awful.
Dragon Ball Super best anime ever. Man, relax. Your trolling doesn't work here. You need to relax.
I haven't checked out Havoc. I'll need to look into that one.
All right, let's see. Zach, you ready to get into the lists?
Sure.
All right. So since Zach has a few more than me, he's going to run through his 26 to 23, and then once we get to 22, we're just going to start alternating back and forth as we get up to number 1. So Zach, the floor is yours. Let's go. Let's get it.
So my first 3 of 26 to 24 are literally just the series I dropped. I just couldn't anymore.
Right.
One of them being Yasuhime Season 2.
Yeah, you didn't finish that. I forgot you didn't finish that.
Toa supposedly died, and I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm out. She saved Shishomaru, and then she just passes out from possibly dying. I was like, all right, I'm good. We're out. This is my ending.
Right.
Then Shaman King, which I went back and watched a little bit more.
Okay, so that's why you counted it.
Yes.
Okay, because see, I remembered Shaman King, and I was like, wait a minute, that was 2021, so I didn't count it. I dropped that very early.
It continued into 2022.
Yeah, I know.
And I stand by what I said back when we took it off the show. We're just not the audience for it anymore.
Right.
I mean, maybe the new series that they're putting out that's in the future might be good, might be better, but...
Oh, yeah, the one that's further in the future of the characters?
Yeah. Yeah,
it looks cool.
Still don't think I think we're out of the audience range for it now. But I mean, it was still enjoyable, at least for nostalgia reasons, the bit I did get through.
Right.
And then 24 was Orient.
I agree to that.
Which, I mean, it had an interesting concept, and apparently it got better with the more story that came out and everything. But just for what we had in at the time, I mean, it was okay. Didn't really compel me to keep watching, so of course ended up dropping it.
Right.
And then for my 23rd, I have our wild-ass Sabuki Bisco.
I'm actually disappointed it's so low for you.
I mean...
I know we didn't finish it, and but I actively want to finish it. I just haven't sat down to do it.
I watched a bit more episodes after that. I didn't get through all of it. I mean, it's... Compared to everything we watched this year, it was entertaining for what it was, because it was wild and just out there, and the heavy metal music was great. But I mean, overall, it was mostly the action and just the... What the hell's going on?
Right.
And I just put it lower. I mean, enjoyable, but...
I mean, that's what resonated with me about the series, just how fucking stupid it was. It's just so wild and stupid and
I
wacky.
still enjoy referencing our one short about it.
That's still a good short. One of the only shorts I've ever made. That's still a good short. Describing the gist of that show.
Boogie Bisco.
Dude, it's great. I love it.
Wild.
All right, number 22. For me, I have dead last worst anime I watched of this year. The Strongest Mage with the weakest anime.
Didn't you only watch like one episode?
No, I watched like 2.
Oh, okay.
That's enough for me to rank it here. All right. I ranked everything that I watched this year. All right. Yeah, and it's Strongest Mage with the weakest crest, but like the way I described it, right? I remember talking about it on the show.
Yeah.
I remember telling you everything that happened in episode 1, and I basically described like 5 to 10 episodes worth of content. In episode 1, remember?
Yeah.
And the thing is, from what I was seeing in like Crunchyroll comments and stuff like that, is like there was so many people that it wasn't received well because they were just like, yeah, they really shafted the light novel.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a good, I don't know the light novel, but I can tell where this show is garbage. So dead last for me at 22.
I mean, and then for me, for my 22, I have Love of Kill. Very entertaining ride overall. It was a very enjoyable series. Really odd mix of drama, action, romance, which was sort of the big seller for me. It was just the weirdness romance that was our MC, who was straight up serial killer, and our female lead, who is a private agent of sorts, who's sort of tracking him down, even though he's in constant contact with her.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a very enjoyable ride, a very good, entertaining twist on the romance genre with the drama, action specter of it. Mm-hmm. But in the end, 22 for me.
21 for me, one that you already ranked is Orient. This is one, honestly, out of everything that I watched this year, read, anything anime related, this is easily number one biggest disappointment of this year. Because I went into this with some pretty decent expectations, Yeah. Magi creator, the whole concept sounded cool. The whole concept looked cool. I still actually want to go and read this. And even the people that are a fan of this series say that, yeah, the manga is just go experience the manga. The anime just sucked. And that's how we felt. The anime just was bad.
It was interesting, but it wasn't compelling in the least bit.
The concept is good, but it was just bad. The anime just didn't do the series justice, and that seems to be the general consensus. Orient, it got its second cur as well in the summer. We didn't even bother. No. Did not bother, and it's again, this is probably my biggest disappointment of the year. It is what it is, though. You can go ahead.
Okay. For my 21, I have our wonderful series that we watched for a long time, only to eventually drop off. Platinum End.
We almost actually finished that show.
We did almost finish it. It was very hyped up for everything that was coming out for it. People were really hyped for it, and we were very looking forward to it. And I mean, for the most part, from the beginning part of it, we were very into it. It was sort of the midway through the series that we fell off just because even like 26 episodes in, the MC was just not compelling.
And that's the problem. Like, your most compelling character was the dickhead antagonist.
And Mr. Sure.
Shout out to Mr. Sure.
R.I.P.
It was his name Mukaido? I think it's Mukaido.
I just know him as Mr. Sure, man.
He was Mr. Sure because Zach and I could never remember the dude's name, which is normal for me. I can't remember names anyway. But just to further give more reason why this show, even Zach couldn't remember his name. So we named him Mr. Sure. But I think it's Mukaido.
It's Mr. Sure.
I think it's
Mukaido. Forever and always, yeah, Mr. Sure.
Rest in peace, Mr. Sure. Legend.
But overall, 21, I mean, I think we had like 8 episodes left, but I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, and we've never gone back to it. And, out of curiosity, since I knew I wouldn't finish it, I went back to kind of see the ending from the manga. Yeah. I'm fucking glad I didn't finish this.
Really?
Oh, dude, I'm so glad we didn't finish this. The ending's so bad.
People were so hyped with it.
I know.
From who read it and everything, I was like, I mean, I can just watch what we watched. I can see the appeal, but at the same time, I'm just like, God, this MC sucks.
Yeah. All right, number 20 for me, one that he already shouted out as well. For 20 for me is Love of Kill. I've gotten more and more into romance over the last couple years, and this one, while it is got like a lot of wackiness to it, with our MC just being a complete nut job, it just didn't do it for me. He already kind of explained why, so I'm not gonna make this long-winded. It just didn't do it for me personally.
And for number 20 for me was Overlord Season 4.
I'm surprised this is so low.
I mean, I enjoy Overlord. The series itself, I've always enjoyed. It's just, by the way I felt by the end of Season 4, I just felt like we were missing a lot of content. And from when I later looked into it, we were, in fact, missing a lot of content. So it felt really out of place and stuff. I mean, overall, it wasn't bad, but it was very visible to me, at least, who knew the entire story, that something was missing.
Right, something was off.
Yeah.
Right. 19 for me is one that you were a lot more high on than I was. I mean, it's still not bad. It's a nice little feel-good show. In the Land of Leodel. He's a lot more high on this, and also shout out to the fact that I love his impersonation of one of the sons.
Come on.
Yes, because now every time I would see him, I would just picture Zach and his impersonation of him. Sorry. Still got the cough from the flu. Apologies. But it just didn't do it for me. I'm here for a nice feel good thing every once in a while. The general concept was pretty interesting of a girl who died in the hospital due to a power outage of the hospital, and basically get her mind stuck in this game that she played all the time. But it just didn't do it for me. The vibes didn't go with me. There was some really funny, entertaining aspects to it, but it just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. But anyway, that was my number 19.
And my 19 was To Your Eternity Season 2, which is still being airing currently and watching. I mean, in comparison to To Your Eternity Season 1 really hit. And Season 2, it's not really there. I mean, it had its opening moments, which was nice, but now we're in this sort of build-up and everything to leading up to our big climax for the season. And I feel like it will probably, hopefully, get a bit better with the whole climax of one. But, I mean, it's been a lot of story and just character building, which isn't bad, but has sort of been slightly lackluster to me. But overall, yeah.
I'm looking forward to sitting down and actually getting a chance to watch that here soon. Number 18 for me, and the main reason why this one I did actually put a little bit higher is because there were actually, while obviously we just talked about this one, 18 for me is Platinum End, and I at least put it a little bit higher for two reasons. One, I got to give some credit over some of these other ones. I did watch 16 episodes, so I'll give it a little bit of credit on that versus the others. But then there were some episodes of this show that really were good episodes.
Yeah,
there were some episodes that were just fucking solid. But just the whole show itself, it's just not compelling enough. So, I mean, being 18 for me is low on this list since I only had 22, but a little bit higher than the others, mostly just giving it a little credit that it had a couple banger episodes, and I did suffer through 16. Unlike the others, I dropped pretty quickly.
For my 18th choice, I have a series that we didn't even talk about on the show.
I didn't even know you watched it, I'll be real with you.
Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. It was just there. I went, sure, why not? It's an isekai series. Guy dies, goes to a fantasy world, and the thing that I liked about it, and which made it higher on the list, is just it was real. Dude was very much just teenager thrown a world. He's like, what the hell do I do? What am I got to do? And he does it. He straight up at one of the first scenes. He's in a village. He gets up. He's like, "I'm in another world." Picks up sword, murders a shit ton of bandits. Saves a village, does the whole thing, and then gets a ride to town. Goes to a slave market, and it's a whole thing, more or less. His journey of getting there, learning how the world works, discovering the labyrinth, fighting in it, buying himself a pretty slave who he wants to fight with him and also do other things with because he's a teenager. Mm-hmm. The third episode's a whole thing with that after he bought her. And more or less just his journey through this labyrinth, which is actually very well done, along with him slowly building up this party and family of slave girls and just all their interactions. So overall, it was very enjoyable. Bit of fan service here and there, but
right, yeah.
It literally has harem in the name, so can't really fault it for that.
So number 17 for me, and this might be a little bit too much of a knee-jerk reaction because I'll be very upfront. I still only watched the first episode, but that first episode was good enough for me to put it higher than some of these others, and because this is a show that I really want to go back and finish because it just really appeals to me. I just didn't continue it because of when it fucking started. I mean, dude, it was part of the summer season, but it literally started at the end of the summer season.
Right before we went into
winter. Before we went into October. Like, it started like the end of September or whatever. I'm like, I don't have fucking time for this. We have October. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So I want to go back and finish it, but it really appeals to me because of what I grew up with, and that's the show called Futo PI. So this is a Kamen Rider show, Kamen Rider anime, and like that appeals to me because like I grew up loving Power Rangers, so Super Sentai. Same thing with like the metal heroes, which would be like for us in English would either be like Big Bad Beetleborgs or even the Kamen Riders. Those are all considered like the metal heroes of different series. That all appeals to me, so that's cool. Our two main characters, the first episode, the little bit of interaction you get between our two main characters, you can already tell they're going to be amazing chemistry throughout the whole show. Like immediately, you got the vibe between the two voice actors. The best part of this, I want to finish this.
The best part is there's a live action version of this show, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Like the main character is just a doofus. The other character is like more of the serious character with his own comedic twist, and just the two together make like this wacky detective pair, and like they fuse together to become the Kamen Rider.
Yes,
like it just looked like the first episode did it for me, man. But again, didn't have time for it because I'm not joking. It started. If it would have started beginning of summer, 100% would have reviewed this. But it's starting like 2 weeks before October. Bro, I had My Hero, we got Bleach, we got Blue. I don't have time for this.
I don't know. You probably could have kept it in the lineup.
I might have, but at the same time, out of everything we were watching, the only thing I fell short on was Spy Family. So even at the beginning, I was still constantly hitting the 5 shows. So it just wouldn't have made the fit. Now I could go back and watch Futo PI and absolutely hate it, and it could be at the bottom of this list, but I don't think so. First episode was solid. I really enjoyed this first episode, and I can't wait to sit down and have the time to rewatch it.
For my 17, I had Tribe 9, our anime based on a phone game which still hasn't come out, which is art style done by the Danganronpa team. Very enjoyable series. Nice take on cyberpunk sports anime because it's more or less Neo Tokyo, and baseball's how people determine things now. But it's not like a normal baseball field; it's the whole damn city,
which is fucking insane.
Yes, to the point we even have straight up DBZ scenes.
That fight was so cool. That fight was so cool.
On the gravity wall up the freaking tower to second base.
Yeah, it's straight up went Dragon Ball Z style.
Yeah, no, it was a very entertaining series to the point that I actually own it now.
Oh, did you buy it?
Yeah,
shout out to that, man.
Still need to finish it, but even like I got through like 8 episodes. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I think I got about through 8 as well. Fuck you for being right.
Kamiya died.
And shout out to the fact there's a mobile game coming eventually. We're waiting on it. Just like we're waiting on Talk Op Destiny still.
Didn't come out in 2022.
Shout out to Talk Op, though. If we would have done this list last year, Talk Op, I feel like would have been in both of our top 5s.
Probably.
Talk Op was so good. If you have not seen Talk Op Destiny, check it out. But no, I feel you. I feel you on Tribe 9 and where you got it at 17. Because for 16 for me is Tribe 9. It's on the lower end. Yeah, didn't end up finishing it, but Tribe 9 was just the concept was really cool. With the whole field being your city being your stadium, the Dragon Ball Z over the top
and
stupid
then having
fights,
the clans and everything.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool.
Or tribes, not clans.
The tribes. Yeah. So I thought the concept was cool, and whenever the mobile game does come out, this is something that I would like to check out. And also, shout out to Becca in chat. Tribe 9 is made by the Danganronpa creators.
Yes, it is.
So Becca, Tribe 9 might be something you want to look into for the anime. Like I said, it does have a mobile game on the way. So,
that was announced back in like 2019.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Becca, that sounds great. Let's see. you followed us on Twitter, on TikTok, so I can just find you there. Or honestly, we have our community Discord down in the link down in the description below, so you can always join that, and you can always reach out to me there as well. I think I have myself nicknamed in that Discord, don't I?
Probably.
I think I'm listed as Alex Light, so you can find me there as well. Let's see. So where are we at on the list?
16.
All right, 16. Yeah, so Tribe 9 was mine. So up to you.
Oh, seriously? Dang.
Yep.
My 16 is one you had lower down. In the Land of Leodel.
He was really up
high. I love this show. When I started doing my list, I went back to our episodes when we actually talked about Land of Leodel and some of these, and I went back and was like, just listening to me talk about it, I was like, I really enjoy this show. Like, I really enjoyed this show. I mean, it was just a nice feel-good fantasy isekai with a different take on it. Like, still one of my favorite things was Serberwolf being mean to Primo.
Yeah.
Primo, that poor child. The only thing why I have it lower is just the final couple episodes, it did sort of just end. And I'm very like, oh, this is the ending? Oh, okay.
Right.
But overall, I very much enjoyed it. It was a nice slice of life with the few really hard takes in it, like the centaur dude.
Coming in at number 15 for me, I have Rent a Girlfriend Season 2. I mean, it's Rent a Girlfriend. What do you expect? It's not going to be a top 5. It's not going to be a top 10. I will say for maybe like a Season 3, yeah, it could probably be a little bit higher. You know what I mean? Because I know the content that's coming since I do read the manga. And, this season was just okay. I mean, it didn't slap. Overall, it's like a solid, 6 out of 10, 5.5 out of 10, which is passing grades on my anime list. So, I mean, it's Rent a Girlfriend, dude. I mean, it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Number 15 for you. I'm surprised this is as low as it is. I'll be real with you.
My Hero Academia Season 6.
Why is it so low for you?
I mean, versus a lot of first off, I have a very different take on what I very much enjoy watching. I don't know what's happened, but I very much enjoy the drama and intrigue animes versus action and whatnot. And I'm going to be honest. I think I was slightly muddled just because of manga, and I got the reaction way back when. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's the same content, just animated. I'm just sort of like, meh. I mean, it's still an enjoyable season, even though some people are getting cucked, like our guy, Mr. Compress.
Man, his shit did get cucked. That's so sad.
He got shafted so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still an enjoyable. I just feel like for me, like honestly, anytime I go to watch, I'm just like, I still gotta watch My Hero.
See, I don't feel that way. I'm actually really excited to watch tomorrow's episode. Just to kind of see where we're gonna be going from here. But I'll tell you, My Hero is not that low for me. I
knew it wasn't.
I get why it's as low as it is, though. Like I understand. That makes sense. Like makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Coming number 14 for me is Sabuki Bisco, which I still have yet to finish, as I already said. But again, as I already talked about, this show just did it for me. Like, it's just so stupid.
Just throw the short in here.
Yeah, just go. We actually have one of our few shorts in existence about Sabuki Bisco describing it. And it's just like, you have like these weaponized, armorized animals. Our main character rides a giant crab and fires arrows that spawns giant mushrooms, and it's just a bunch of wacky, though there's a police force with bunny masks that they wear. And then while all of this like wacky, stupid, concept is happening, the show takes itself so stupidly serious and has like extreme heavy metal music playing during combat scenes. It's just so stupid, bro. And I
want you to know that's exactly what you say in the short too.
It is. I was trying to remember it as I'm going through it. But no, I didn't finish it. I want to finish it. I will finish it. I imagine once I finish it, it may have even been high on this list. But since I didn't finish it, I did keep it a little on the lower side. But I mean, it did it for me. It resonated with me personally. But
and 14 for me, I have Parallel World Pharmacy.
Didn't know you watched this one either.
Well, here's the fun fact with this one. This is one of those miniseries where I started watching and went, I've read this.
Of course you have.
So I was already full gay with it because it's another Isekai series guy who's he works in medicine, makes new medicine and whatnot. He's more or less works nonstop, sleeps literally in his office, dies. His heart just stops because he overworked himself, and is reborn in a body of a child of a well-known, noble pharmacist, doctor guy, and more or less he uses all his modern-day pharmaceutical knowledge to help progress medicine in the medieval times, along with magic, and also since he's an isekai reincarnated person who's taken over the body of a dead person. He also has a stupid amount of magic, so he is slightly OP. But I enjoy it because it doesn't really focus on the action at all. It mostly focuses solely on his pharmaceutical skills, how he goes about making the new medicines with magic into this world that doesn't have it, making like early style microscopes for people to see like germs and things like that.
Right.
And more or less showing as this just different things that actual medicine knowledge and whatnot that can help. Like there's a whole thing where he makes women's beauty products that are more healthy, so the ladies aren't like bloodletting themselves to look paler, putting on mercury-based makeups and whatnot that are more or less killing them, and things like that. And it has several things like that, and even goes a whole like last third of the series, main thing versus a villain who's trying to spread a virus pandemic in the town, and more or less him helping fight it and put in laws and stuff to help contain it, make a cure before everyone dies. And it's very enjoyable, very much different kind of action.
Okay, all right. 13 for me is La Chorus Recoil. Obviously, this slapped for a lot of people.
Yes.
Like, this was one of the highest trending shows over the summer. And as I've said before on this show, I understand why. I see it. You know what I mean? I see why. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? And that's why it's I mean, it was still an entertaining show. There were a lot.
You finished it.
I did, yeah. I actually finished it. Like, you know, some of the combat scenes, super cool. The character interactions, very, very cool. The general themes of the show, some of the you know, like the character arcs that you explore in this, you know, short, you know, few episodes, very entertaining with like our sensei character and everything. Just the continuing relationship building between our main characters and just the dynamic between every character within the cafe and everything. And I mean, it was okay. It's not like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 like people made it out to be on like Twitter and stuff. But you know, again, I see why people are putting it as high as they do. It's just not for me, but I mean, it was okay. I mean, I don't think it's anything I'd ever watch again. Assuming obviously there will be a season 2. I'll probably watch it depending on what else we have coming out. You know what I mean? If we have like a loaded lineup that season, it may not make the cut for me. But if we don't have a loaded lineup and I only got a couple shows I'm super interested in, yeah, I'll probably watch like Chorus Recoil season 2. Why not? Whatever.
Oh, it is getting a second season?
I would safely assume so, based on how it like left off on a cliffhanger. It was super popular. It's got a manga now.
Yeah.
Because this was an original source.
Yep.
Yeah, this was an original anime.
Which was interesting because during the summer there was a lot of original source stuff.
Yeah, and even this upcoming season, we've got one coming out that I'm actually really curious in called Revenger, I think is what it was called.
Yes.
And that's an original anime as well, no source material, so that's one that I plan to probably check out this weekend. But yeah, like, of course, very cool. I mean, it was okay, but again, I did finish it, so I feel like it at least deserved to be a little higher on this list at 13. I feel like it's a fair little spot there. What's 13 for you?
13 for me, I have The Daily Life of the Immortal King. It didn't come out this year. Season 3 came out this year, but I just started watching it this year.
Right.
It's straight One Punch Man vibes, man.
Yeah, you think you told me that.
Yes, because, and fun enough, this is actually a Chinese done anime. So it really took my brain a little bit to be like, when everyone's talking in Chinese and my brain's going, it's not Japanese, but it's okay. So like, I don't know. You might get this because Japanese was subbed on Japanese. Like, I'm used to the voices, and because of that, I have, you know how like there's a bouncing ball on some stuff that have subtitles? Right. I sort of do that with the pronunciation of Japanese words. Okay. So I'm able to sort of bounce it when I'm reading. Right. And when I try and do that with The Daily Life of the Immortal King and it's all in Chinese, I'm like, rhythm is not matching. Right. So that took my brain for like an episode or two to get around.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, just a very enjoyable anime. The big thing that once I started watching was the fact that it is a Chinese done anime, and I don't get a chance to watch a whole lot of that and just see the different animation styles, voice acting, all that fun stuff. But overall, dude's an immortal king reincarnated. Everyone's like super like, oh, there's so many powerful people and whatnot. He just literally strolls up. He doesn't want to be like in the very first episode. He goes to this trial for this school, and it's more or less everyone fighting a projected version of this great demon that was defeated like a decade ago. Mm-hmm. He walks in the room, and the frog goes, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" And he's just like, "No, not again!"
Right.
He just gets completely bashed because this whole thing was he was about to get enough energy from all these decades being a trial summon from all the little energy he's got. He was going to break free and run wild, and then he shows up. That happens, and then the same episode, they all go to class. Like, all right, now y'all need to try and summon familiars. Everyone's failing. One of the top students managed to summon a familiar. He does it. He summons the frog as a dog. And the frog will be like, "What's happening?" "Oh, you're my familiar." "I'm your familiar." And those two have a very good dynamic throughout the entire series of just him being the creature that was once beaten, and him just, he really doesn't care. He just wants to live his best life, but he can't.
Right. Coming in at number 12, almost to the top 10, I have Spy Family Second Cour, which is the most recent one for the fall. And I still need to finish. I only got like an episode left, whatever.
I didn't realize you did them separately. I just did them as one.
Yeah, I did notice that on your list. I did count them separately. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm very anti, cours. I've said this multiple times. I view them as separate seasons. That's just how my brain processes. I do not view these as one season. Yeah, that's just how I view it personally. But yeah, the Second Cour. It's good. It's entertaining. It's Spy Family. You know what I mean? It's entertaining, but just the first one was better. The first one just was, from beginning to end, just a hilariously fun watch. And this one had its moments as well. But, I feel like the first part was just a lot better. So this one's going to be a little bit lower for me personally.
Number 12.
Jesus Christ.
It continues. It returns for one more episode.
Oh, God damn it. I hate this.
The Adventures of Dragon Quest. If you haven't heard me talk about Dragon Quest, you haven't been here in 2 years. But why I have it so ranked high is because versus all these other series on the list, I finished this series. And regardless of how much I hate it and all the tropes in it, it was still somewhat entertaining. I'm going to leave it at that. If you really want to know my thing on Dragon Quest, there's like 2 years worth of podcasts. You can go check out how I feel about Dragon Quest.
I want everyone to keep in mind, anyone new to the show, that when Dragon Quest started, I watched the first couple episodes, wasn't doing it for me. I stopped watching it. But since I never took it off the script,
I kept watching it.
He just never stopped. So it's my fault that was on there for as long as it was.
And then he finally took it off. He was like, should I take it off the script? And we were by like episode 22. I went, we're too far now. I didn't know it was going to go for another 170 episodes.
Right. Is what it is. Yeah. Fuck it.
I said that it didn't get close to 200, but it was like 130 or some crap like that, I think. I could be wrong.
No, it just ended right at 100.
Did it end at 100?
Yeah.
You're right, it did.
It just felt like 130.
Correct.
Yeah. It felt like 130 because of just how these episodes just drained years off your life. But yeah, it ended at a clean 100.
But I would still recommend it to a new anime viewer.
I hate that you would. All right, coming in at number 11 for me, I have Shield Hero Season 2. I mean, look, we're almost at the top 10, so this is honestly a pretty good rating. Yeah. It's just, I don't know, it didn't pull me in as much as the first season. The first season had so much going on with it that just made it so much better for me personally.
I feel like Season 1 had a very much more hit factor.
It did.
And just literally the first thing that happens now, Fume is the one person who decides to join him ends up
fucking him over,
accusing him of rape and stealing all his shit.
Yeah, and then just as the season went on, just you developing that desire in your heart and soul, like, oh, I need this bitch to fucking get what's coming to her. You know what I mean? It made it hit differently. You know what I mean? And Shield Hero Season 2 was good. Don't get me wrong. It had some really awesome sequences across the board. But it just, compared to everything that I have 10 and 10 to 1, it doesn't compare, in my opinion, personally. Spoilers. I didn't say anything spoiler-wise about Season 2. All right? I just said that it was okay. I didn't go into detail, so you're fine. Sorry to change topics slightly, but have you all done the most anticipated anime show yet for 2023?
Nope.
No, we have not. I haven't even thought about doing that, honestly.
I haven't, because we still don't know what's even coming out in fall and winter.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know what's coming out in fall and winter still. I mean, really all we know is, like, obviously winter and spring, and then a couple shows in summer. Yeah. So, no, we haven't done that.
Summer and fall hasn't fully been fleshed out yet.
Yeah, but Steve, tomorrow for Game Aesthetic, we are doing that for video games, though. We're doing most anticipated games, complete 2023 outlook, as well as our predictions for 2023. We did that last year, too.
Yeah, which you just threw at me and John.
Yeah, and I did it again. Well, at least, Steve will be there. We're gonna throw out some spicy predictions. It'll be fun, and we'll also have the debut of a new co-host. Shout out to that, which may be debuting.
Josh Pillow too.
All right, we got the full body pillow this time. Let's go.
Josh
he would fucking kill us. But yeah, excited for that. Let's see.
11 for me is Black Summoner.
Oh, okay.
Another series that I started watching when I've read this. Another Isekai series. I have a trend here. I like Isekai, by the way.
I know you do. You're a big fan.
No, this Isekai, but fun fact with this one is the guy trades his memory for extra skills, so he doesn't even remember that he died. He just wakes up, the world's like, this isn't Japan. Where am I? Who am I? And more or less, he just enjoys the world. He becomes a part of it, enjoys it. He has the goddess who sent him here as a navigator, little fairy thing. He slowly gains companions. And it more just comes down to the fact that he's a battle freak. He enjoys to fight. And it's just his little journey as he levels up, gains companions, and just tries and finds the best fight ever, because one of the biggest things is he likes fighting so much, he finds the group of heroes who have come to the world, who have been summoned to the world to actually fight the Demon King. He comes into a situation where people are being stolen and being fed to some demon and whatnot. He finds the group, beats them up, saves the people they've captured, and instead of leaving, he ties up the people, or plants them like they've been beat up heroes, goes into the office of the big bad guy, their leader, sets him up as the leader of the organization for the heroes to come in so he can fight the heroes. And then mop the floor with them. Overall, just very enjoyable, just Isekai guy enjoying the new world and just wanting to be a battle maniac. Which there's a character in there you would love.
Okay, all right.
They have ranks, of course, in the S class. I forget the character's name right now, but he's hard, muscly character who likes to dress up as a magical girl.
Okay. Steve also threw out there, so I made about 4 episodes into Black Summer and just kind of went meh and never went back.
I mean, it's not for everyone.
I was about to ask that, yeah.
I mean, it's literally just Isekai series that's sort of a daily life series. So if you don't enjoy the characters or what's going on, I could very much see you just dropping it.
Right. Maybe I'll give it a fair shot. There you go. Steve also throws in the chat, the wife is super giddy for the new Dr. Stone. Season kicks off in spring.
I know nothing about the anime.
Yeah, he knows nothing. He randomly picked up the manga at some random point. And
when I joined this show.
Yeah, when he joined this show, and just to make it a meme, he never read anything prior. So he has no idea about so much of the early stuff, and he's just winging it.
But led to my spirit animal of Chelsea.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah. That's my character. I have a lot of opinions on Dr. Stone. I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that.
There is one chapter where he just straight up zeros.
I did, yeah. All right, coming in. We're in the top 10.
Shout it out here. Sorry.
Are you gonna find the chapter number?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, into the top 10. Here we go. Coming in at number 10 for me, I have Chainsaw Man. So obviously, done my map of the anime itself is very beautifully, masterfully done, right? That petition is stupid up front. We already chatted about that. But I mean, I'm not a Chainsaw Man diehard. Like, I see it for what it is. Everyone like raves this thing like it's freaking. Like the diehard fans rave at this thing as if it's like the greatest goated material in the history of manga. Like, bro, like straight up, like the story aspect of this series is like maybe a solid like 5 out of 10 in my opinion. I mean, it was okay.
It was okay until we got to the end part, and then I went to. Then the writer just went.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, look, it's just not a series that just extremely pumps me up. It's entertaining. That's the main thing. You know what I mean? It brings you a lot of entertainment. It'll make you laugh, but I don't think it's goated.
Which is wild when I think about it, because then we got that one shot from which the story of that was fantastic.
Yeah. What was that one called? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he released one. Well, he's released another one since.
Yes, he has.
But there was another one shot he released right after Chainsaw Man. That one shot was so good, dude.
It was
I think it's becoming a movie, isn't it? I think we chatted about that at one point.
Either a drama or a movie. I can't remember which.
One of the two. Which I remember, because I remember reading that he was going to add more scenes to it than what was in the one shot. But it was so good. But no, Chainsaw Man, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, obviously, cracked my top 10. It's like I said, it's entertaining. You'll laugh at it. You'll get some really just entertaining, cool moments. Like, still one of my favorite moments is that really epic build-up moment where he's walking up the hill. He's shirtless. You have badass music playing where he's about to go fight the bat. And he's just like, I need to grab some titties. And then starts the fight. Like, it's entertaining, but it's not like the greatest thing on the planet. But it's entertaining enough to make it top 10. So there you go.
Versus my top 10 is Blue Lock.
Mine is a little bit higher for that one.
I mean, Blue Lock's enjoyable. It's a sports anime with a twist on it of just the more almost combat sport aspect of it for soccer.
Yeah.
Overall, it's enjoyable. The characters are entertaining. The concept of itself is very entertaining. At some point, still going to finish reading the manga and catch up to it.
Yeah, I need to as well. We need to get more Weekly Shonen Magazine stuff on the show.
But number 10 series for me.
Let's see. Number 9 for me, Spy Family First. This was a really fun, entertaining watch. There was, just a lot of hilarious moments throughout this first season. You know what I mean?
The amusement park was a very good episode.
Yeah. That was probably my favorite episode. The music part was so good. No, I mean, it was just it was a cozy little watch. You know what I mean? It was a nice way to just sit and chill. This is one that I actually watched twice because me and my girlfriend, we would watch it while just like chilling whenever we watched the dub. The dub's actually not bad, believe it or not. Dub's actually pretty okay. But I mean, it's just a cozy little watch, man. Spy Family, it's a fun manga. It's a fun series. Definitely recommend it. And the season 1 cracked at number 9 for me.
Sorry, there's another Discord popping off right now. Number 9 for me is Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. I've been enjoying the series. It is, I don't know if that's fair to say now that I think about it. It's probably one of the slower paced Gundam series. I say that may not be fair because there are some really slow Gundam series. Overall, I've been enjoying it. Enjoyed the Gundam fights itself. Have enjoyed the characters. It has some very interesting oh god moments, like when I explained what happened to Green Hair after he lost to Suletta. I'm just like, oh, that's depressing.
Yeah.
And then just the depression cycle they put Suletta through. They really like depression in this series. For whatever reason. Overall been enjoyable. Still gonna see how the last episode finishes out. Then it is getting a season 2 we saw.
Yeah, we did. And this is a series that I still plan to watch. Again, with how much we were doing for this fall, we split it up where like he was watching 5 and I was watching 5, and this one didn't make my cut. I watched the prologue, really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching this. Coming at number 8 for me was Demon Slayer Season 2, the Entertainment District arc at the beginning of this year. In terms of,
the buff rodents couldn't bring it higher?
They almost did. The buff rodents almost brought it a little bit higher. No, I mean, Demon Slayer for me, man, it's the same way that I feel with Chainsaw Man. Like, straight up. I think the story for Demon Slayer is a lot better than Chainsaw Man, but I don't think it's the greatest thing on the planet in terms of story. I mean, I've read the manga into its entirety. I mean, It's a good story.
You ruined it very first episode.
Yeah, shout out to the original Anime podcast, not Anime Plus, the original Anime podcast that flopped immediately. First episode literally ruined Demon Slayer when the first season was the only thing that was out. Didn't know how to do a podcast then. Somewhat have figured it out. Kinda. I'm still figuring it out. Not the point. But Demon Slayer. I mean, if we take everything that we watched on this list, right, and we strictly graded things off just like animation quality, Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer would be at the fucking top.
Yeah.
I'd say Demon Slayer is number one for this year. If we're doing if we're doing like our own anime awards and we did just personal favorites, anime quality, Demon Slayer season 2 would be number one on the list for anime quality. It was awesome. It was the anime quality for it was insane. But again, Demon Slayer, like I'm not as high on it as everyone else. It's entertaining. It's good. Characters are compelling. Characters are funny. But it's just I feel the same way about it like I do with Chainsaw Man. It's like a nice 7 out of 10 series for me. But I mean, season 2 was a epic watch. So I mean, coming in number 8 is pretty solid though.
Number 8 for me is Trapped in a Dating Sim, the world of Ultima games, and is tough for mobs. This is a very odd series for me, just because so guy dies and gets put into a mob character of a dating sim game that he was forced to play for his sister, who wanted the 100% clear CG for the dating sim. But because she was the parent's favorite, she was snuck off to do something and forced her brother to play it for her. And more or less, he did a 72 hours straight to do this 100%. And it's like the worst visual novel dating sim plus gameplay that makes no sense and is very crappily done mechanically. So it takes him 72 hours straight to get this 100% clear. And he's like, okay. Goes to leave his apartment to get something, falls down the step, busts his head. Done. And he wakes up in the body of one of the just mom characters in this world where women are on the top versus men. They're the ones who are higher nobility, things like that. Women decide who they're going to marry, and men marry into their families, all this fun stuff. And our MC, more or less being a mob character, is like, yeah, I don't really care about doing the politics, but I'm not marrying that old hag, so I'm going to go find some treasure to try and win myself from not having to marry that old hag.
Right.
He ends up finding the treasure, becomes an adventurer, succeeds, and goes to the school, and then it's just a big thing of him just throwing a wrench in sort of any sort of visual novel dating sim trope ever, because this is the world of the game he 100%ed in. So he knows all the characters. He knows how things are supposed to go. And more or less, he's just like, I'm a mob. I'm going to just do my thing. But naturally, because he's MC, he can't just do that.
Right.
Things happen. It's a very enjoyable show. It's a bit slice of life, bit of intrigue drama. Probably more drama than intrigue. I'd say give it a chance if you can give about 3 episodes. If you like what you have after 3 episodes, you'll probably like the rest, because it's just an entertaining trope for dating sims and whatnot, and him just more or less throwing a wrench in all that.
Coming in at number 7 for me, I have Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War, first cour. The return for Bleach was great. You know what I mean? All the expectations that Bleach had coming into it with its long-awaited return lived up for it. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed a lot of content with this season because it was new to me. You know, I had read Bleach leading up to this, and it just kind of delivered everything that I wanted and more. So I mean, I loved it, and I'm super pumped for the second cour. I mean, there was a lot of anime only content in this as well that I thought slapped and did everything that it needed to. And we reached a point towards the end of the season that reached completely new content to me, because when I was reading the manga, I did stop at the beginning of this arc. It's like, let's just experience this anime blind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously this is not new content. This has been done for 10 years, but it was really cool to be able to experience it for me for the first time. So coming in at number 7 for me, Bleach.
Number 7 for me is Skeleton Knight in Another World. This was a series I wasn't expecting. but then the opening went super hard, and I was like, I'm okay with this. Dude dies. Dude dies. He gets resurrected as his character. He's the super over-leveled skeleton, and he just yeets his way through the world, just trying to find something to do, live his best life in it, and just nonchalantly goes about wrecking everybody and everything in his way. Overall, just an enjoyable ride show. It's a shut off your brain, just enjoy the ride kind of show. Overall, very good. I enjoyed it. Especially love that opening, because that opening goes hard.
That opening does go hard. Didn't watch this show. You sent me the opening. The opening goes so much harder.
I didn't even send that. We were in a freaking setting for a podcast. I was like, just listen to this, Alex.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that opening goes unnecessarily hard. Number 6 for me, My Hero Season 6. So, I'm a big My Hero fan. I grew up on superheroes. I love superheroes, and that's why My Hero, while I completely understand everyone's complaints about the show in general, I get it. I see them. I hear you. I just love superheroes. I think they're fucking cool. I grew up with it. I love superhero movies, comics, everything. It's my thing. But season 6, this is the arc. You know what I mean? This is the arc that manga readers has told anime watchers, just you wait.
Yes.
Just you wait for this season. And there's people that's disappointed with it. And I will say, the first good 10 episodes, whatever, I felt like did a very good job in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd agree.
These past few episodes, they've shafted a couple things.
People have been shafted.
Yeah, people's been shafted. It's been unfortunate, but I mean, I guess I'm just very biased towards it because again, I like superheroes. It's my thing. It's very appealing to me. So while there is some issues with it, and while realistically, I'd probably put this maybe at 10 or so because of some of the issues and everything. But again, I like superheroes, bro. I like this series because of my appeal to it. So it is pretty high for me. I've enjoyed pretty much every episode. Me personally, while I do agree that Mr. Compress got shafted, we can both agree to that. My own, it's not even a massive beef with me. My beef. Yeah. My beef is Mirio. Mirio got so shafted. From the manga. The manga did it so much freaking better. So I'm very upset about that. Everything else, I'm cool with. I'm fine with. I like it. My Hero Season 6 at number 6.
Number 6 for me, I got Tomodachi Game, the summer series that I was sort of excited for.
It's Tomodachi Game, bro.
Ended up being a lot more entertaining than we really thought about it. I still need to go back and actually read the manga because I did start, but I stopped for whatever reason. Just total drama and intrigue. It's literally all it is. 5 friends are more or less kidnapped and have to play a game because there's now one of them has a debt. It's been split amongst them. And they got to play a different bunch of children-esque sort of family type games, all with dark twist of causing people to do things, causing more debt. Like the first one's, I forget what they call it, but more or less everyone has to answer the same to get the Inu dog to raise its arms. And it's a whole thing of people can take off debt if they didn't, and whoever got stuck with it would get up with everyone's debt, yada, yada, yada. And we just have these different games and whatnot, which was essentially the group trying to find out whether they can work together or not, which leads into the second half of just MC going up against another group that's also in a Tomodachi game and whatnot, and just being complete mad lad and literally starving his companion to death.
He had to do what he had to do.
So this show goes pretty intense on some of the darker themes and whatnot. Even the final thing with the whole knife and fingers thing.
Yeah.
Of just him straight up stabbing.
That was awesome. That was so good.
But overall, the series is very good. And if you're looking for a darker series with more focus on drama and backstabbing, this is your game. This
lot
is your
of
series.
backstabbing.
Tomodachi Game.
So coming in at number 5, and I want to shout out something before I go through my top 5. Zach's known me for a very long time, and when it comes to me and anime, I'm so proud of this top 5 because you can vouch for me.
Your top 5 is pretty decent.
Yeah, before this show, my top 5 would not have looked anything like this.
A lot of the series that are in this 10 to 17 would be his top 5.
Bingo. Like before this show ever started, like I would just stick with mainstream stuff. So like I've said it before. I am so thankful for this podcast where it put me in a position to force me to really try other things, because it's opened my eyes to series that have now become some of my top favorite series of all freaking time.
Like one of these you're super uninterested in even after I told you, but you kept going with it.
And then it just hooked
me. And it paid off.
Dude, it paid off massively. So I'm so proud of this top 5 that I have. Coming in at number 5, one that he already ranked, I have Blue Lock. Blue Lock, man, has just completely done it for me. Like I love the characters. I love the sport aspect. I love like the brutality of it as well. The mental game, the animation is so sick with how they break down the puzzle pieces with the Isagi's head and laying out the field and like the demon inside of our characters and stuff. Like I love this. I've never been a sports anime viewer. It's just never been my thing. And I know Blue Lock, it is a sports, but like kind of like what you talked about like a week or two ago, we were chatting about this, that it wouldn't necessarily be the greatest entry point in your opinion for sports, because it has so many other things going on with it. But for me, it's perfect because it has that epic, story that I love with anime, as well as like, some really great animation shots and everything, great compelling characters with a lot of interesting backstories. And Blue Lock has done it for me, man. I'm so pumped to watch Blue Lock tomorrow.
Number 5 for me is Rising the Shield Hero Season 2. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was slightly lackluster, but I have it so high just because, for me, the biggest thing with it was what people didn't get to see was the payoff from all the things that happened in Season 1 of just MC's name, who I forget at the moment. Naifume. Getting the payoff of people recognizing him and all that stuff, especially like the scene when he goes off to fight and with the carrot cart with his flag up and everyone actually cheering for him, versus the entirety of Season 1 where he just keeps getting shat on.
Yeah, that was the big compelling part for Season 1.
Yeah. And then also just getting more in depth into the whole other world, and the other heroes, and our lovable penguin.
Shout out to the penguin. Shout out to the penguin.
Yes. Overall, very much enjoyed it. Just the whole fur aspect of just the entire turns of the world, some of the things that were mentioned in the first season getting payoffs, and just overall now Fume's payoff. Right. Just for everything that happened in Season 1. Stop tracking me, camera.
Yeah, yo, dude, your camera is tracking nonstop. I keep trying to lock it, but it's not locking. Mine hasn't moved an inch. Mine has not moved an inch this whole episode. I don't know. The ObSpot, awesome cameras, apps, they need work. Yeah. Their software needs work. Anyway, coming in at, let's see, where are we at? 4. Coming in number 4 for me, one that he already ranked, Tomodachi Game. I loved this. I love mental games. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like in any sort of, it doesn't matter. Video game, anime, manga, movie, TV show, does not matter. I love the mental games, right? I love watching characters just go back and forth, and just, one character at the last second pulling the rug out from underneath you. I just think it's so damn fascinating and so damn entertaining. And Tomodachi Game, like Zach already talked about, it did it for me. A lot of backstabbing, a lot of mental math, mental games, and just watching our MC watch him unleash his inner psychopath. Like straight up, this dude's insane.
We never did get the payoff for the whole light side, dark side of him. That was still a whole thing.
Yeah, we got Season 2 coming. We got Season 2.
Do we actually do?
Yeah. We got Season 2. It's coming, no doubt in my mind. Hasn't been confirmed, but we know what's happening. I
mean, there's a series from years ago. I'm still waiting for an anime. It got a live action and several movies, Liar Game, which you would probably very much enjoy.
Right.
Old series, completely done. It's like 160 chapters or something like that. You would definitely enjoy Liar Game.
Mature language filter. Man, I forgot to check that. I'm sorry. I forgot. Hold on. I wonder if I can change anything right now. No, I cannot. Not from this one. I will.
Oh, are we saying we're a family-friendly show?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No, definitely not. Although YouTube's making a lot of changes right now involving that, but it's a different conversation for a different day. But either way.
So are you telling me we're going to get this video striked?
No, nothing like that. But they are being very strict on curse words, that's for sure.
Oh.
But they have like weird levels about it where it's like you can't say certain words, especially fuck, within like the first X amount of time of the video, like first like minute or two or whatever it is.
Which is really what it
Yeah, just you start off the podcast like, all right, it's like, all right, you guys ready to go? Yeah, sure.
We've totally done that.
We have, yeah. But no, Tomodachi game is fantastic. Like I said, if you like the mental battles and you like insane protagonists, as we already chat, Tomodachi game is fantastic.
For number 4, I have Spy Family just because I put the first core and second core together.
Yeah.
And I really didn't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, Spy Family was everything I could hope for. The manga was very entertaining ever since I picked it up, and just this anime's just been spot on with it as well. It's just redone all the chapters justice. Animation's been fantastic. All the characters, of course, are very entertaining, and just how everything's done from Lloyd and him starting all the way to fucking Desmond, who we finally got at the end of, finally got his first scene ever. Overall, everything's very done. All the singles are always fantastic. All the interactions fantastic. I enjoy the series overall.
Coming in at number 3. Now, this is the series that Zach already touched on that he recommended me, and it wasn't doing it for me for like the first 5 episodes of season 1, which came out a few years ago, whatever. Yeah. And I just kept beating my head with it, powering through it, and it completely paid off. Especially with season 2 is fantastic, and that is Classroom of the Elite, season 2 that took place over the summer. Bro, this is another one of those cases, just like I talked about with Tomodachi game, of those mental games. You know what I mean? Anakoji is just seeing him and his level of intelligence and just how many more steps ahead he is of everyone else. Playing this big game with Ryuen, was that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Just playing like this big mental game with Ryuen throughout the entire season to the ultimate payoff of Anakoji just being completely unleashed, and just that incredible payoff of just this dude really is completely emotionless. As he's just beating Ryuen to the freaking death. Ryuen just wants to bring that emotion out, and Anakoji's just like, what are you talking about? This is nothing to me. And he just keeps punching him, just beating the hell out of him.
That entire scene is done fantastic from beginning to end, with the music, the framing of it, just the whole Ryuen's whole situation of while that event's going on. I mean, that's the payoff for the end, but I still enjoy just the rest of that season as well, because I'm going to just throw it out there. Classroom of the Elite season 2 for me is number 2. Which is even like the beginning part, because we got more expansion of actually the rest of the classmates and whatnot. Because in the first season, we only got the very set cast. We got blonde hair girl whose name eludes me. It
eludes me too. I don't remember.
Her first real interaction.
Was it May by chance? It's gone. It's gone. Don't remember.
Her first real interaction with Ayano with the whole... I forget what they call it, but like the councils of all the mixtures of everyone, and just him figuring it out, but not really wanting to mess with it, and doing the whole trick play with everyone and all the fun stuff with him getting girls to take her away to the freaking boiler room and beat the living hell out of her, only for him to catch it on tape and make her a pawn, and just like, I'll protect you if you act as my pawn.
Yep.
And that literally breaking her down to be her sort of hand to bring her back up and make her dependent on him. And all that. Just how far he's at. The only bad thing I say about the anime, which I mentioned when we were watching this summer, is it very much seems like we're missing something.
Yeah.
With how, from the viewer's point of view in the anime, it's Ayano Koji's doing his thing.
Yep.
But for some reason, all the other characters in the series can't figure out it's Ayano.
Except for potentially one. And that's the blonde classmate. We found that out.
Freaking George of the Jungle.
That dude is so far ahead of everyone, and I can't wait to explore
He had one moment, and he's just like, I don't want to ruin the moment. And you're just like, wait, does he realize everything that's going on?
Oh, yeah, he knows. That scene was enough for us to realize that.
To the point where we get to the end with the whole Ryuen and the icebox, and everyone being like, wait, it's you?
Yeah.
And just being very confused, like, we're missing something here.
Yeah. Steve threw in the chat, I thought Classroom Elite was garbage, but I'm only a couple episodes in, so maybe got to give it a go. So any talk that you've heard about it's garbage, I feel like there's I'd say 80% chance it's probably from someone who has read the light novels and watched the anime. Because I have started the light novels and I have not even finished volume 1. And I've done some homework on them too. The light novels and the anime are basically two different entities in a way.
Yes.
They really are. Because like Anakoji, the character that you get in the anime and the light novel are vastly different. Like in the light novel, he's more machine than human. Yeah, in the anime he is.
Yes.
Yeah, because in the light novel he's very timid. He's very a nervous, anxiety-filled wreck. You know, he's like a vastly different character in the light novel. It's honestly fascinating how fucking different they are. They definitely did their own thing with the anime, and I like what they did with the anime, and I'm more curious to experience the light novel more and see really which one I like more. But I like what they're doing with the anime personally.
And think of it this way, Steve. It took me more or less really hitting home to Alex about it for him to beat himself to get to episode 6, which hooked him. Yep. So like, and I admit on season 1, the first couple episodes, unless you're just really into that style, can very much turn you off with just how they are, because there isn't a lot there.
Yeah.
You're really working with nothing.
Yeah. For the card, Captain Sakura, shout out to that manga's ending soon. I didn't know it was still ongoing.
I was aware it was still going, but I didn't think it was still the second, because I knew it went from elementary school to middle school.
Yep. It is now, the manga is ending here soon. So shout out to that. But yeah, no, Class from their Elite, Steve, definitely continue to give it a watch. Season 1 definitely gets a lot better. Has some really cool second half of the season, but I'm telling you, season 2 is awesome. Season 2 is so good. Okay, so you're number 3. And this is, all right, so full transparency. We already joked about it earlier. His number 3, and it's going to be on my top ones as well. This is where we kind of cheated a little bit, but we put it on here.
So my number 3 is 86 Part 2, which I forgot it only aired 2 episodes because there was a whole thing that happened that
it got delayed.
Yeah, it got delayed. And so it was literally just the final 2 episodes of Part 2 from like fall of the previous year.
Yeah, so the whole gist on that, on 86 Part 2, you know, was supposed to be a fall anime, and it was only a 12-episode season, whatever. So it was supposed to only stay in that fall range. Was not supposed to carry into January. But during that airing, the anime got delayed twice due to technical problems on the studio's end. I don't remember what it was exactly. And essentially, why the final 2 episodes got delayed to freaking spring. TV business is rough. That's all it was. They literally could not fit the final 2 episodes into the slots that would carry into January because other shows were already set to start. Like, it's just TV business is rough. That's just the bottom line. So they had to fit the final 2 episodes into March. And again, we're kind of cheating on that, but we're fucking counting it because they're fucking great.
I mean, it's number 3 just because it was a fantastic series. If you haven't watched 86, you really should. It's an absolutely fantastic series.
Yes, you should.
He's gone super hard into it.
I've read some books. I read. Yeah.
Overall, it was a very nice payoff versus the first part of it. We've expected the last 2 episodes. We got the sort of ending of the whole group's fight with their charge on the, I forget what it's called now, but the giant cannon that had the little girl's knight's mind in it.
God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on its name, too. I'm the diehard of this series, and I'm forgetting what it's called. Oh, no.
Got a super amazing fight between him and Grave. It's not.
I know it's Kiri is his name.
Kiri, yeah.
Kirai, or whatever.
Kiri's his nickname. Kiri and versus MC and Kiri get a nice little fight, everything. Then we get the second half payoff of the meeting of the surviving members of Spearhead and their handler. And we even have a nice moment between MC and Major Waifu, because I can't remember her name.
Lena.
Major Waifu.
Lena.
Major Waifu.
Lena.
Major Waifu.
Lena.
Major Waifu and the
Lena.
red flowers talking to MC.
Lena.
And her having no clue because his capsule's shut. And we have a whole nice moment where he's about to release it and then doesn't because people show up. And you're right, I am wrong. It's not Major Waifu, it's General Waifu.
It's Lena. And what he ended up becoming was called Morpho. His nickname was Pale Rider. But yeah, it's just a shepherd in the Legion is what it was. That was the actual titles for it. But no, 86, man, top tier. Like I said, we did kind of count. We kind of cheated on this one, but it's okay. General Waifu. Don't encourage him. Her name is Lena.
Yes, Steve.
Her name is Lena. Okay, all right. So number 2. So I'll be very transparent. If it wasn't for the fact that we cheated a little bit with 86 there, this would have been number 1. It was number 1.
You're jacked up series.
Dude, going in, it's like, okay, the trailer when I watched it seemed cool, right? The whole concept when I looked at this series seemed cool. I was not prepared to go into this show and fall madly in love where it's like in my top 10 favorite series ever, potentially coming in at number 5 now. It might be number 5 for me. Yeah, it might be 5.
Oh, of all time.
Of all time, yeah. I mean, I didn't expect that to happen. The level that I fell in love with this show, and I've talked to Steve about it all the time when I see him, when I would see him at work. Summertime rendering is fucking phenomenal. And it is, I've said it a million times, it is such a damn crime with how the broadcasting was done for this show, where it was on Disney Plus, available in one freaking country, and a lot of people didn't get to experience this unless you bootlegged it. And Jesus Christ, is this series incredible. Just like the overarching story of it, just like the general concept of this character that returns home to this island that he grew up on, and now he's basically stuck in a loop leading up to the destruction and the killing of everyone on the island. Everyone dies, and him trying to do everything in his power to prevent it, which part of his power, with him being stuck in this time loop, every time he dies, he resets the loop, but it goes a little bit further in the future. So like he utilized that to his own advantage, where he kills himself to try to reset the loop when the current loop that he got in got fucked up. And just the constant battle between him and Heine, who is also part of these loops with him. Whenever he loops, like, she knows when he loops. She knows what happened in other loops. It is such a fascinating series. Incredible action, phenomenal music. It sets the mood perfectly. It has so many tense moments where it really brings you to the edge of your seat, because this is in the realm of it's supernatural, it's horror. Like, this is an incredible series. I've gone out and I've bought the mangas. Shout out to Barnes & Nobles for having their own little collection set. That's really cool. Bought both of those. I absolutely love Summertime Rendering. I know it's getting a game this month. Shout out to that. A game is coming out for the Switch and PS4 in Japan. It's a light novel. Hopefully it gets a West release at some point. I probably not. If it does, it's going to be like 4 years from now.
Not as a light novel, it isn't.
Or a visual novel, sorry. Yeah, it's a visual novel.
Well, visual novel, yeah.
Take it like 4 or 5 years. It may come out over here. I'll hold on to hope. But no, the Summertime Rendering, I cannot recommend it enough. I don't know where to watch it. Yeah, man, the link that I sent you where I was watching it, it's since been it's been taken down. Unfortunately, you just got to try to find a website for it, which is super unfortunate. Again, it's a crime how the broadcasting was handled for this show, and I seriously cannot recommend it enough. Summertime Rendering is absolutely phenomenal. Second favorite series of this year for me.
I mean, I already hit my second series, Classroom of the Elite Season 2. We already hit that. Still a fantastic series. If you can't, just need to get through it a little bit, and it really pays off.
And then number 1, 86, second car. Really deliver how much I love 86 and how much this series just really hits on a lot of different levels. The fact that...
Where's your wood piece?
Oh, I do have a wood piece. Shout out to Buddy Green with Quality Construction for designing this wonderful wood piece of Shin's logo, Undertaker. Looks absolutely incredible. Love it. Shout out to Buddy Green with Quality Construction. If you need any work done, hit him up. No, to really kind of put it in perspective, we had 2 episodes. That's it. And I'm ranking it number 1. And it's honestly not only because of how much I love this show, but I'll be very real and upfront and transparent. If these episodes weren't as good as they were, I wouldn't put it at 1. I would be fair about that. If they were just like, okay, yeah, those were solid episodes, I'd put it still probably top 5, but Summertime would probably take the crown here.
Yeah.
But dude, the fact is, those 2 episodes were fucking amazing. Like that ending for the last episode, I said it before, is one of the best, if not the best, anime endings for a season I've ever seen, because it wrapped up so many like story points, from the entire thing, and just like the framing of it, just like the different little of how the camera pans with the railroad track with the characters, where it's like the end of this journey. There's the nice shot of Fido where it's like a reflection off his lens that imitates him crying almost. Bro, I still cry at that meeting. That is incredible. Like the episode before that, with which Zach already chat about, with Lena meeting Shin for the first time while he's still in the cockpit, so she doesn't realize who she's talking to. But just everything about those last 2 episodes were freaking incredible. Absolutely murdered my soul. Again, I still every once in a while will pull up that final few minutes of the last episode, and I still cry every time. So it may have only been 2 episodes that were technically got ranked here, but those 2 episodes to me were some absolute literal 10 out of 10 content. So 86 second curve, final 2 episodes, number 1 for 2022 for me.
And then my number 1 series for the year is How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Season 2.
I'm so excited for you to talk about this, because I never would have guessed this would have been number 1 for you.
So, keeping to my thing, the action part of this series is very limited. It is very much politics, economics, and just MC finding workarounds. So, sort of just set up a setting for anyone who doesn't know this. MC gets reincarnated into a fantasy world. He ends up in a kingdom where they're shafted. Their finances are shot. They're going to get taken over. They're being forced to pay tribute, which they don't have. And he's just like, all right, show me what you got. And he just starts wheeling and dealing, gets the funds, sends out feelers to find people to help build stuff, sets up a whole new economic system, finds people who are useful, literally makes TV idols and showing off people to be able to save ways to be able to get food and use food for stuff that they wouldn't think to eat and whatnot. And overall, the first season, him more or less setting up this kingdom. Second season leads into the bit of, because the king of this kingdom's just like, oh, you're doing great, yeah. I'm going to just step down, you're king now, bro.
Have fun.
So yeah, MC's the king, and he's just like, oh shit, okay. But he fully realizes that he can't stay king, and he plans to step down, but he needs to set up the building blocks for the kingdom to be able to succeed after he just decides to step down. And the second season is a lot of just the other generals who are associated with the kingdom, who are more or less 3 different militaries. And their sort of conflict with him of just this random guy who appeared and suddenly made king and everything. And just, it's a very good contrast of how he chooses to deal with it versus the rest of the country politics dealing with the aftermath of, from the first season, Kingdom that tried to attack but lost, and he ended up taking their shit. And just a lot more politics, personal interactions, just how he strategizes for fighting against these people. Some of the characters, how loyal they are in it, and just the things that they do that does just a complete 180 of just the whole situation when you learn the truth and things like that. Leading up just to the whole finale of the season, which is more or less, because there might be a season 3. I don't know. I haven't heard any announcement or anything of sort of a coming together for the solidifying the whole kingdom as a whole, leading up to the overall arcing thing of where the whole setting of it, the entire world's fighting the demons. The demons have one half of the land where the demon king is, and all the human countries and whatnot, or humanoid, have more or less made a truce where they're not going to fight each other until they deal with that shit.
Right. Which
led to the whole thing where there was, in season 2, where a kingdom attached because there's not a treaty, yada, yada, yada. Gray areas, politics. But overall, just very much enjoyed the whole Isekai thing and more politics, economics, city building.
Right on. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I want you to know the revolution that you fucking started in the chat.
What's that?
Just read it. It's right there. I want you to see what you've done. I want you to see what's happening right now in chat. Her name is Lena. Thank you very much. You see what you've done. You son of a bitch.
I mean, I'm okay with this. Because Major Waifu appeared when we also came with a Mr. Shirt and Jim.
That's true. It was in the time of where, like, even though her name is very easy, like Lena, like, it was just like we're still getting into the show and just can't remember names to save our life, which happens to me all the time. Hence why, I know you guys can't see but like our scripts, I would literally include names of like every character in Bleach because I just can't fucking remember them most of the time. All the Gotai 13, all our main cast, the enemies, I can't remember names, bro. I'm so bad at names. And that's how it was for 86, for like the first 2-3 episodes, is we couldn't remember her name, so he just deemed her Major Waifu.
And you accepted it.
I deny it now.
Hey, they speak. She is forever General Waifu.
No, not happening. But made it through our list. Shout out to that. Ranking every anime that we watched in 2022, and we'll try to do the same thing again this year. It just depends on how it kind of lines up. If anything, we'll do a pre-recorded episode, an extra one. I would like to do it again because this year we got a lot of shows coming out.
I've come to realize with doing this list that the later half of the year, I really just stopped watching anime apparently. Besides what we were doing for the show.
Yeah, that's all I ever watch. Like legit, and I don't mind it because thankfully in all the time that we've been doing this show, I've only personally experienced one time where watching the anime felt like work, which was this past spring. And we talked about that at the time because when we made our return, we took a break for a few weeks because I had something come up that I had to take care of. And when we came back to it, I didn't have the motivation to watch these shows. I just didn't. Sabuki Bisco, that one I would have watched, but
and spring's the reason why we didn't hit episode 100.
Yeah, it really is. We're so close, dude. Hey, we made a good effort getting back there. We finished at 98. That's not bad. But yeah, the spring was the only time it ever felt like work because that was Sabuki Bisco, Love of Kill, In the Land of Leodel.
Yep.
Those were the main three, and Tribe 9. Those were the four that we were trying to do in spring, and just wasn't doing it for us. Wasn't doing it for us at all. Actually, no, that might have been fall because spring had Tomodachi Game and yeah, that was fall. I'm stupid. Yeah, that was winter. Yeah, that was the winter animes because spring had. I don't want to read it. I already saw one thing. And I was just like, all right, I'm just ignoring that one.
Steve's looking to fight.
Yeah, I know. Oh, please do not send me fan art. I beg you. It's kind of weird, to be honest. It is kind of weird. That's why don't send it to me, please.
It sounds like you've looked it up.
No, not me, but he has, clearly. I don't want to know. I'm good. Don't send it to me.
It's her head on a Legion robot.
Oh, my God. That's technically canon in ways. Heads on Legion robots. That is the whole gist of the show. So, but yeah, looking forward to doing this list again at the end of this year because we got a lot of shows literally right here at the beginning.
Yep.
And technically, I guess some of these would be ranked again. We'll rank Blue Lock and My Hero again, and To Your Eternity. We'll see how it finishes out.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we'll see how it finishes out and see if they'll still be. From what we watched, these got ranked here, but here at the end of this year, we'll see how much higher they're going to be. I got a folder full of picks coming your way. Jesus Christ, I hate you. But no, looking forward to the list again this year. We're not going to do any chapter ratings or anything this week. We'll follow back up next week.
Didn't read anything.
That's not true. I read a lot of things. I didn't know everything got updated yesterday. I didn't know that. But the previous set of chapters, those I read. And then all the Webtoon stuff. Shout out to Weak Hero. That's a 10 out of 10.
Wolf's poor minion.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on Weak Hero, baby.
I'm just doing what I'm told, man.
Let go. Smack. Shout out to Weak Hero. That was a 10. Favorite chapter of the week. But yeah, we'll follow back up on chapter ratings. Then, of course, anime reviews next week. Because next week... got a lot. Next week might be a loaded episode.
It probably will.
Yeah, because I've got at least 3 or 4 episodes of animes I plan to watch this weekend. And if it gets too crowded with stuff that he and I watch, depending on how good the episodes are, we may put to the side our continued watches for the week, Yeah,
Possibly.
And just focus strictly on the new stuff. So like My Hero, Blue Log, To Your Eternity, unless they're absolute freaking bangers. We may just like quickly touch on them like, yeah, this was cool, and move on. Kind of like we do each chapter review. So that way we give more time to the new show starting. Because Revengers, episode 1's already out.
It's out. Because I saw it on Crunchyroll.
I did not see that. It's like Revenger, definitely I want to check that one out. We have Nagatoro Season 2 I will watch. Will I review it? Don't know. Tokyo Revengers, I'll see fucking tomorrow how Disney Plus is going to handle that. We'll see.
I'll need to double check the airing list, but I think there's one... Sukuyoto, which is a series I've read and which I'm super happy got an anime. If I can find a place to watch it, I will.
And then we have Ayakashi Triangle starting.
Are you actually going to watch that?
I don't think I can bring myself to do it. I really don't. I dropped it, man. Ayakashi, as I've said before, guys, Ayakashi Triangle, I went into it not having any idea, not a single clue.
He only knew it was popular. Then he found out why it was popular.
Exactly. Like one of the volumes on the list that I saw, it was like 14th selling, which is really good for a new volume release, for a newer series too. And I'm like, oh, that's popping. Let me go read it. Whatever. Let's see if it's good for the
bunch of TNA.
Oh man, the creator for it, he did hentai, and it shows. And I see why it's popular.
Hey, the writer for Shokugeki no Soma did hentai, and it wasn't that hard.
I mean, yeah.
It was in the beginning, to be fair.
And also to give further perspective on like Ayakashi Triangle and like the levels that it flirted with, that was the only weekly Shonen Jump series that was not available on the app. You had to read it through Manga Plus or online, and it's because of its adult rating. They've since taken it out of Weekly Shonen Jump. It's now in Jump Plus. They've removed it from the Jump magazine because Jump magazine it's meant for teens. That's a fact. It's meant for teens.
Just a bit too spicy.
It was a bit too spicy, so they had to bring it over to Jump Plus, which is more of like the adult sort of mangas. Which is also why Chainsaw Man's over there.
Which is funny because Kaiju number 8 went from Jump Plus to an actual manga.
Yeah, true. But wait, what's this called? Ayakashi Triangle. Here, I'll put it in chat for you. Of course you.
Like Steve, straight up, you can find it, and it's literally getting an anime this year, so you can watch it all in anime.
It starts on the 9th.
Ooh, how do you feel about that, Alex? What Becca says. He needs to watch 7 Deadly Sins. How do you feel about that, buddy?
Man. 7 Deadly Sins hurts my heart. 7 Deadly Sins hurts my heart.
Oh, let's go over there. Whee!
7 Deadly Sins hurts my fucking heart, man. Like, anyone that has not checked out 7 Deadly Sins, just go read the manga. You'll be fine. You'll have a good time with the manga. Man. It just hurts my heart because of how good season 1 and 2 was,
And the studio went, nope.
It ripped that because the movie flopped, so they ditched. No, I disagree. Season 2 was good. I disagree. Season 2 was good. And then season 3 and beyond is garbage. My rant will forever be, live on in a way of the Bond episode that I was so pumped for, that I was so scared they were going to ruin, and they did. Like the Bond and the Demon King fight, that was one that I was so excited to watch in the anime. And oh my God, did they ruin it? Like the joke that that Zach made, like let's go over there. That was the fight. There was one like far shot of the camera in the fight where you literally see Bond and the Demon King exchanging punches, and literally go watch the episode, man. They're sliding across the screen, bro. Like what are we doing? Oh my God,
budget cuts, man.
And there was also the joke from My Hero season 4 where that one shot of Overhaul, I can't remember his actual name. Overhaul's eye got a higher animation budget than the entire season 3 of 7 Deadly Sins. Facts, dude. Studio Dean, go fuck yourself. I hate Studio Dean for what they did to that damn show. Because, I mean, the series is good. It's got its flaws, but I'm not doing it. I will not accept General Waifu. I'm trying to move on. I am not accepting it. No.
I'm okay with these turn of events.
Shut up. You started a revolution, you bastard. But anyway, yeah, we'll be back next week. Should be back on Thursday. I don't see why not, but you never know. Stuff pops up with this show all the time.
Every day.
It never fails, man. The other two shows are pretty much fine where they are, but Anime Plus, something always seems to happen. We're going to push it back a day or something. But we'll be back next Thursday. We'll be chatting about, of course, like I already mentioned, all of the winter anime. May touch on our continuation or drop it for the week. We'll see. But I'll hit the music. We'll get out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to Sparky3. And you can also subscribe to Anime Plus, which would really help us out. Thank you very much. Bye.
Do everything that he said and more. Like, check us out on our website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free, or you can sign up for $5 a month and support us further. We definitely appreciate that. Join the Discord down below. Check out our Ancient Ink store and pick up an Anime Plus jersey, because it's the best one there, and it's the best jersey on the entire Agent Ink website. With that said, guys, until next time, have a good one. See ya.